Welcome back to the Star Family Wisdom YouTube channel. I'm Jenna, the founder of Star Family Wisdom, and today we are talking about activating dormant DNA for personal growth and transformation. So we're going to be exploring the fascinating world of epigenetics and how understanding the process of unlocking our hidden DNA, our hidden potential, helps us unleash all of the possibilities that are available to us in our lifetime. And you might have wondered how some individuals seem to possess extraordinary talents or abilities that just set them apart from the rest. Or maybe you've marveled at people who have had just incredible achievements of mind, or maybe some of the miraculous abilities that spiritual leaders possess. Well, those aren't just anomalies. What if I told you that that is possible for all of us? And that's why we need to understand the concept of DNA, activating DNA, and epigenetics. So we'll delve into the concept of dormant DNA. And it's good to think of it as like a seed that's waiting to sprout, because our DNA holds the potential for everything that unfolds in our lives. And by understanding the power of DNA activation, we can tap into our latent abilities and we can create a life that's filled with purpose and joy and fulfillment, which we all want. So in this video, we'll talk about some of the ways in which we can start this process of DNA activation and just why it's so important. So what is DNA activation exactly? This refers to the process of activating dormant DNA strands that hold the codes for spiritual abilities, that hold the codes for connecting with higher intelligence, that hold the codes for unlocking skills that you might have had in previous lifetime, ultimately empowering us to step into our full potential. So it's like within each of us, there's just this vast reservoir of untapped potential. And you might have heard of scientists referring to junk DNA, that these dormant strands of DNA are just junk, that we don't know what they do. But the DNA in our bodies is the blueprint of our existence. It contains genetic information that shapes our physical body and how our physical body will regenerate. And like I said, our DNA holds the extraordinary abilities that have long been overlooked. And if DNA is shaping our physical and our energetic bodies, we might be able to think of it as a bridge between the physical and spiritual realms that might connect us to the vast cosmic energies that permeate the universe. So by activating dormant DNA, we can align ourselves with these higher frequencies, these cosmic energies, and tap into the limitless potential that lies within the cosmos, which is ultimately within us. So by awakening this dormant DNA, we might be able to unravel some of the mysteries of our existence and activate heightened intuition, telepathy, healing abilities, and just a heightened level of expanded consciousness. And by activating our DNA, we can become catalysts for personal and planetary transformation, ultimately becoming those bridges between the physical realm here on Earth and the spiritual realm from which we came. And understanding epigenetics refers to the study of changes in our gene expression. Epigenetics really is a merging of science and spirituality, and it reveals the intricate relationship between our external environment, our lifestyle choices, and the expression of our genes. We have good science now to help us understand that there is a correlation between our internal environment, our thoughts, our lifestyle choices, and how that affects our genes. Epigenetics explores how, our diet, stress, emotions, and all of the environmental influences of our civilization modify the way our genes are expressed. You might look into some of the work by Bruce Lipton if this is new to you. Bruce Lipton has done some incredible research on epigenetics and the expression of our genes and the fact that we can upregulate or downregulate the expression of our genes. We can regenerate or degenerate. And unlike some genetic mutations, which might be permanent in our DNA, epigenetic modifications are reversible and start to point to the fact that a lot of our genetics can change. So, this highlights the importance of good nutrition and eating plants and getting exercise and sleep and stress management, because when we're not focused on that, we're actually living in a more degenerative state than a regenerative state. And we all want positive influences on our body and our life. We want to live the most optimal lifestyle we can. So, this really is about optimizing our life for the best gene expression possible. So, here are a few concrete examples of how our thoughts and positive intentions support that positive gene expression. So, by setting the intention to prioritize our health and well being, we can activate genes that are associated with vitality and resilience and longevity. And this can lead to improved immune function, increasing energy levels, and reducing risk of chronic diseases. We also need to focus on cultivating emotional resilience, setting intentions to cultivate that resilience, and putting into practice ways we can become more resilient to life and all of the events that unfold. Activate genes related to stress management and emotional balance. So, this is another reason why we call spiritual practice a practice, because we are building new muscles. We are building resilience muscles that actually lead to emotional balance and the ability to just experience less stress as time goes on. So, as we cultivate this sort of emotional resilience, it helps us navigate challenges with greater ease, and we bounce back from setbacks just a little easier. And when we encounter those challenges, it becomes just a little easier to maintain a positive outlook on life. And by setting intentions to cultivate loving and harmonious relationships, we can actually activate genes that are associated with empathy and compassion and connection. All it takes is starting with an intention. And this can enhance our ability to communicate effectively and build strong bonds, and over time experience those deeper levels of intimacy and understanding with each other that we all want. And by setting intentions to manifest success and abundance, and setting those intentions to deeply know and embody the truth that we live in a universe of limitless possibilities, you can start to activate genes that are related to creativity and help you get a little more motivated in life. And this helps us seize those opportunities when they come around, and helps us just jump over obstacles when they pop up. And we now know through quantum theory and advances in science that we can attract positive outcomes in our life. So, this concept of our internal reality, our thought processes affecting our physical bodies, also extends to our entire physical environment around us. And when we set the intention to continuously grow and be in that beginner's mind and open ourselves to new information, and when we set that intention to stay curious, we can start to activate genes that are associated with learning and adaptability and personal development, which helps us acquire new skills and helps us just expand our knowledge over time, and also helps us embrace change so that when change happens, it's not a setback. And ultimately, this all leads us to a place of truly becoming self actualized. And from my standpoint, aligning ourselves with the way the universe is intended to support us. So, by consistently aligning our intentions with positive thoughts, emotions, and then, following that up with behaviors that are in alignment with those positive thoughts, even if it takes some practice at first, we can create this powerful synergy that supports positive gene expression and unlocks more of our ability to live from that positive place. So, what are some ways we can start to activate our dormant DNA and start to experience a positive expression of our genes in a positive reality around us? Well, meditation, number one, that's a gateway to dormant DNA activation. And we know it's a powerful tool that helps us quiet the mind and connect with our inner self. But by practicing this regularly, we are creating an environment that allows those dormant codes to come online and activate those latent abilities that are within us. We can also use visualization. We can harness the power of our imagination using those thoughts and intentions, like we talked about. So we can start to visualize ourselves already embodying these new abilities, these more empathetic ways of being, or these more resilient ways of being. We can start to visualize ourselves with spiritual abilities, with supernatural abilities. We can start to visualize ourselves peaceful and living in abundant ways. And then we can also engage in energy work techniques, which really is just about channeling divine energies into our system, which again activates dormant DNA. So this looks like working with Reiki or Qigong or any energy healing practice, shamanic energy healing practice, or maybe utilizing ancient mantras. This helps activate the flow of those subtle energies that move through our bodies and ultimately the universe. So we want to channel and direct these energies into our system to clear any blockages and rebalance our energy centers, ultimately allowing for that harmonization to occur. And as we utilize these techniques that are focused directly on channeling energy, we are essentially telling certain parts of our DNA to wake up. And we want to stay consistent with our practices. Consistency and patience is key. Evolution and transformation is a long-term process. So we need to trust the process and just stay focused on continuing to incorporate these aspects of DNA activation into our lives. Eating a diet that is rich in plants is also a really important aspect of turning on those longevity genes. There are also practices related to ceremonial rituals and ceremonial practices. Many shamanic rituals are focused on connecting with the sacred or the divine and evolving ourselves, our human selves, to become that bridge between the physical and spiritual realms. So by engaging with shamanic practices, drumming, chanting, or even just aligning ourselves with the natural rhythms of the universe, we're starting to open ourselves up to those transformative experiences that allow those new aspects of ourself to come online.